Do you like the looks of this guy? Yeah, me either. So I added him to my Minecraft world to see if I could survive peacefully in the forest with this guy. This will not be like those other horror videos you see where I just run off to face him head on. I will be trying my best to avoid him and just live my best life and play the game and enjoy it. And this is The Disturbed. This video does contain jump scares, and it is for that reason I do not recommend this video be viewed by children or people who are sensitive to that kind of content. An endless bamboo jungle. No sheep, no cows, no hostile mobs. This will truly be me alone in the jungle with nothing but the disturbed. As soon as I spawned in, I realized it didn't even make sense for me to try to find a better location to build a base because it was all going to look the same. So I figured spawn was as good a spot as any. I cut down my first tree, made myself a little platform because I don't know a lot about this mod, but I know I want to be up off the ground. Now that I had myself a safe little platform, I headed down to do the normal Minecraft stuff, get myself some stone and some coal, and I found this little ravine, and right away, I didn't like the sounds I was hearing. So I barricaded myself in here for the night because I was not going outside in the dark with all of those creepy noises playing. So I stayed here the night and gathered all of the resources that I could before heading up in the morning. I then cleared out some of these bushes that were stopping me from getting to my ladder. Then I headed up and got to work on the house. And everything was going well. I was just peacefully enjoying building my house, and then I started hearing whispers. And this actually scared me so bad. I considered uninstalling this mod and going with a different one and just starting over from scratch because I did not like that one bit. But I already got everything set up, and I was like, let's just stick with it, pretend that didn't happen, and get back to building. And yes, it is nighttime. And if you're wondering why I'm not sleeping, there's no sheep, no skeletons, no spiders, no way for me to get what I need to make a bed. I was going to have to try to find some cobwebs somewhere or something like that. But yeah, that's why I'm not sleeping. And it did not take long for him to make a move. And he stayed down there for quite some time, probably about 5 minutes. Once I realized he wasn't going anywhere, I just got back to working on the house. And yeah, like I said, he eventually did despawn, so I just tried to ignore him, even though it was absurdly obnoxious sounding. In the morning, once the coast was clear, I gathered some more wood and just got back to work on the house. And during the entire day, it was pretty quiet. There was no whispering, no footsteps, no jump scares. I was just left in peace to work on the house. The following night, however, was a very different story. Whispers and footsteps were happening so frequently, I decided to try something different. And when I heard the whispering, "I am behind you," I decided to not look behind me to see what would happen. And this is what happened here. This did work, but it seemed like it happened way more frequently when I refused to look at him, so I don't know if it would have been a better move to just look at him and get it over with, but I didn't. Once it got to be light out, I went on a little boat ride, hoping I could find some animals because I seen two or three chickens on day one, and I haven't seen any animals that I could eat since then. The only thing I've really seen roaming around was cats. So I went on a boat ride and I found nothing. So I just turned around and headed back. And if you're wondering where all my health went, how I got hurt so badly, I'm on one heart here. A tree fell on me, believe it or not. And yeah, it's embarrassing. I didn't even include it in the video. It fell on me, took me from full health to one heart, and I realized then that food was definitely still a problem. Then I looked out the back window and seen a whole bunch of watermelon just right here by my house this entire time. I don't know how I didn't notice them before, but I knew that if I could get these melons without dying, that food wouldn't be an issue from here on out, and I was able to get them without any incidents. So I headed down to iron level because it was time for some protection, not only from that guy, but from falling trees as well, apparently. But I noticed it was only day 3. How was that even possible? It seemed like I had been in this world for like at least 10 days. It seems like I've been playing forever, but it was day 3. I don't know if the mod messes with the day count or what, but it's only day 3, so that's crazy. Anyway, I was hit with a jump scare or two. Then I headed up with 29 iron. So I threw all that in the furnace and got back to work on the house because what else is there to do when you can't sleep and you're trapped in the forest with some monster? I made my roof out of dirt because I wanted to make a little farm up there for wheat and melons. And these jump scares, they were just so obnoxious and so loud and getting to be so frequent. I was not having a good time. I really wasn't. And I'm not opposed to the occasional jump scare. Yeah, I'm more for creepy build up when I look for a horror mod, but I mean, don't get me wrong, this was a little creepy, but it was 90% jump scares, which it was a lot, and most of the time it made it hard to enjoy playing. Anyway, I spent most of the next day just working on the house, setting the roof up a little bit, trying to get my farm going up on the roof. Of course, with my ears bleeding the entire time. I went down by the water to grab the wheat that I had planted a few days ago, which I knew was a bad idea to do at night, but I was not waiting all the way until morning. This one right here got me so bad. It honestly, it pissed me off. I wasn't having fun. I was getting very irritated with the jump scares, but that one in particular made me mad. So I planted some crops on the roof and took myself a break. I had enough for the day. Right when I logged back on, I went to grab myself some melons and immediately remembered why I had stopped playing the day before. I started cutting down trees and clearing out bushes. I wanted an open area around my house here. I was hoping that I could see him coming from a distance instead of him having so much coverage. Then I planted myself some melons right before it got dark so there would be no more running into the forest to get them. That night I put up some fences, giving myself a little safe area underneath of my house, and I also put in a glass floor and some ladders for easy access, and in the morning, this is what it was looking like. I spent the whole day clearing out trees and bushes and bamboo, and I was working with a much more open area now, and I felt good about it. I felt a little more safe. Before it got dark, I went on a little adventure, hoping I could find something to help me make a bed. That was the first time ever that it didn't scare me at all. I was fully expecting it, and I was getting used to it. I don't know I don't know what that says, but I was adjusting, or slowly dying inside. Whatever. But I didn't find anything and headed back home before it got dark. I headed back underground to get myself some more iron, and I began to hear skeletons. And I know that skeletons can't spawn in this world, so I assumed it was a skeleton spawner. And I began digging towards it, and it turns out it indeed was a skeleton spawner. And when I got in there, in the chest was a whole bunch of string and a whole bunch of cobwebs. So finally, I had what I needed to actually make a bed. I won't bore you with this part too much. I made a little skeleton farm and farmed them for arrows and some bones, and then I got out of there. Of course, not without a small heart attack first. And as soon as I went up, this happened. This time it was a little bit different. I'll let you watch here. He was much faster than I thought, and he can climb, and he can grab a hold of you. So I learned that. I went pretty far away, and he was still here when I came back. I was hoping he would despawn, but he didn't. I tried shooting him with an arrow. Just bounces off of him and doesn't do anything. So after I realized he wasn't going to despawn, I just went around him and quickly headed back home. Then I got right to work putting up a fence, hoping to prevent that from happening again. Then I spent the night fishing, and I even got enough fish to tame myself a cat. Yeah, look at that. Got myself a pet. Alright guys, here's where I'm going to wrap this video up. Not because I couldn't continue, but because I was not having a good time. It got old after a while, and I just do this for fun. So as soon as it starts to feel like a chore, or I'm really not enjoying myself, or I'm struggling to motivate myself to get on, I'm gonna shut it off. Now, do I recommend trying this mod? Yeah, absolutely. Give it a try for a day or two, but honestly, it gets exhausting. You don't want to be scared constantly, like jump scared that frequently. It just gets to be pretty exhausting. Can you survive it? Yes, it's not too bad. But is it enjoyable? To each their own on that one. For me, no, it really was not. But that was my experience with The Disturbed. And this is Modded Craft. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. See ya.